motivational message. It is Winning Wednesday, and we do motivation just like we do our personal hygiene. We do it consistently, we do it every day because your mind is the greatest tool of liberation that you have at your fingertips. And if we continue to put good things in, eventually good things are going to come out. And part of that is kind of unlearning some poor habit patterns. Maybe we have a tendency to kind of beat ourselves up more than we need to. Sometimes we shrink from opportunity. We shy away from bigger dreams and goals. And I want to talk to you about this question of thinking big. Do you think big? Can you think bigger? Thinking big is about looking at your current circumstances and asking yourself, is there more? Can I aspire to more? Can I reach for more? Can I become more? Am I willing to stretch? Some people they put themselves in a box and they live there comfortably. Remember, comfort is dangerous. Your comfort zone is your broke zone. It is that silent killer. And so you want to be mindful of your thought patterns. You want to ask yourself more important questions. Is this really the best that I can do? Have I truly ascended to the greatest heights of my own capacity? And I would dare say that you haven't even come close, that you haven't even begun to scratch the scratch. If you look at people that have achieved great things, more often than not, they're falling short of what they're striving for. They're falling short of their initial goals. I remember the phrase, my goal is to have a computer on every desk in every home. That is a ginormous goal, but it's also very simple. It's a very simply stated, easily memorable outcome. My goal is to have a computer on every desk in every home. This is what Bill Gates said to himself. Now, you can look at the scope and the reach of Microsoft and the software giant that it became. And obviously, it is astronomical, the reach and the impact. But he didn't achieve that goal. He fell far short of that goal. But having a cosmic sized goal created monumental results. And we have to be careful when we're talking about this. That's why I wanted to really have a conversation with you. Because sometimes we can have a goal that is so big that it becomes demotivating to us. It's so far out of reach that psychologically we know that we're never going to come close. So we just don't even try. It sounds good. It feels good to say it. But deep in our heart, we don't really believe we're ever going to achieve it. And so when I'm asking you this question, are you thinking big? And can you think bigger? I'd like to challenge you to think about a stretch goal, not an impossible goal. Like I remember a young lady saying to me, I want to be a billionaire. And my thought was, well, can you be a multi-hundred-thousandaire first? Like, can we start there? Like, let's be 100,000aire, and then a multiple 100,000aire, and then let's get to seven figures, and then multiple seven figures. Let's have some steps. So for her, I would say thinking big would be, I am going to achieve multi-100,000aire status. I would say thinking bigger than her current circumstances, let me get to six figures consistently, and then I can build upon that. So that's a stretch, right? Multiple six figures is a stretch, but it's reachable, it's attainable, And so understanding that thinking big is contextual within your current circumstances. You know what they are. I don't know what they are. And maybe you can look at it and say, okay, I've been averaging $120,000, $130,000 a year in income. I want to stretch to $500,000. So now I'm going to think bigger. My target is $500,000 a year. What do I have to do that? Let me reverse engineer it. And so that becomes a target. A stretch goal could be seven figures. Eventually, I'm going to double that. So my initial goal, my initial target is going from 120, 130,000 a year to 500,000 a year. Okay. And that's going to call upon me to think bigger. Thinking big is $1 million a year. Okay. So that's a stretch. I gotta reach for that. And in reaching for that, I am 100% certain that you will surpass 120, 130,000 a year. You're going to give yourself a pay raise. And what if you end up at 190,000, $200,000 a year in that first year or two? So you've given yourself a pay raise of 100 from 120, 130 to 190, 200,000. You still fell short of 500,000, but you're still reaching for that goal. And you're still thinking bigger, right? You're still thinking bigger. And you still have the big goal of $1 million a year. And if it takes you 3, 4, 5 years to get there, so be it. But at least you're striving for something greater. At least you're reaching for something greater. And so I just want to challenge you. And I'm using the money because it's math, it's numbers. Numbers don't lie. They tell us about what we're putting forth in our effort. And are we showing up in the marketplace and bringing value in a way that we can do that? We can grow exponentially our income. And it also allows us to evaluate the vehicle that we're in, because maybe you're in a vehicle, a financial vehicle, where that's impossible. You can never do it. So now you have to evaluate, am I in the right vehicle? And maybe I need to look at some different vehicles to drive. That's where I come in. I want you to have a conversation with me about it, of course, because the vehicle I'm driving can absolutely do that. And you don't have to give up your current pursuits, and you don't have to quit your job. Of course, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you want to spend your time efficiently. And if I can provide you a vehicle in addition to what you're doing that can help you reach that goal, so be it. Now, if the goal is fitness, if the goal is a 6 or an 8 pack, right? I'm going to show you how to do that. If your goal is greater strength, if your goal is better discipline, if your goal is to increase how you're showing up in your job or in your relationship, we can have a conversation about all those things and put things in place that are in alignment with you thinking bigger and thinking big and reaching for more. So I just want you to take some time out this morning on this Winning Wednesday to ask yourself that question. Am I thinking big? Can I think bigger than what I've been doing? Have I habituated small thinking, limited thought patterns? Have I habituated talking down to myself and talking myself out of greater reach, greater striving, and greater opportunity? If you got some value out of this, please like and subscribe. Go ahead and pass this video on, because it is a blessing to be a blessing. Happy Winning Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.